All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever had to analyze a focus group, you know what it's like. You're facing this just mountain of data. But what if I told you that most of us are digging in the wrong place? We're so focused on counting up who said what that we completely miss the real magic, the hidden conversation happening right there in the room. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that.
And it all starts with this one single fundamental idea. Let's be crystal clear about this. A focus group is not, I repeat, not a group interview. Seriously, treating it like one is probably the biggest mistake you can make, and it's a trap that can lead your analysis completely off the rails.
So what is this trap exactly? Well, it's the assumption that a focus group is just a time saver, right? A more efficient way to do a bunch of interviews all at once. And look, it's an easy mistake to make, but it misses the entire reason we do focus groups in the first place. So I want you to ask yourself this, honestly. When you look at a focus group transcript, what do? Are you just highlighting quotes and making a tally of how many people mentioned a certain theme? Are you treating each person's comment like it exists in a vacuum? If you are, you've probably fallen into the trap.
To really get why this is such a big deal, we need to back up a little and look at what it's trying to copy, the classic one-on-one interview. You see, understanding this baseline is the key to seeing just how different a focus group truly is.
So think about a standard interview. It's a direct line of communication, right? It's you, the researcher, and one participant. And the goal is super straightforward. You ask questions to pull specific pieces of information from that one person. Simple. And the data you get, it totally reflects that structure. The responses can pretty much be treated as standalone nuggets of information. They aren't always connected to what was said before. A person might give a short answer, and that's that. At its core, it's a question and answer session. Okay, but a focus group, that's a whole different animal. We have to completely shift our mindset here. We're not just collecting individual data points anymore. We're observing a living, breathing, collective conversation, and that's where the real gold is. And this is where it all clicks into place. Look at this comparison. We're moving from seeing isolated responses to seeing interconnected ideas. We're shifting from a rigid Q&A dynamic to a natural conversational flow. We're not just gathering individual data points, we're actually watching a group create collective knowledge together. And this is the absolute heart of it, the collective construction of knowledge. It sounds kind of academic, I know, but it's simple. A focus group is this unique space where people don't just show up and state opinions they already had. They react to each other. They build on each other's ideas. They shape and refine their own thinking live in real time. And I love how the source material puts this. It says, you have to treat focus group as people coming together to construct knowledge. You see? This isn't just a slightly different analysis technique. It's a completely different philosophy about what you're even looking at. Okay, so if we're on board with this new philosophy, how does that actually change what we do? Well, it means we have to become detectives. We have to start decoding the dynamics of the conversation itself. Let's see how that works. So here's the game changer. Your main focus has to shift. You become less obsessed with the specific content of anyone's statement, the what, and way more interested in its role, its job, its relationship to everything else being said around it, the how.
So what are you looking for? You're hunting for these interactions. When someone says something, what does the next person do? Do they build on that idea? Do they elaborate and add more detail? Do they offer up a new example to support it? Or do they come in and contradict the whole thing? These are the moves, the actions within the conversation.
So as you go through your transcript, for every single comment, you start asking a few simple questions. First up, is this a standalone statement? Did this idea just come out of the blue, totally disconnected from what was just said?
Or is it just adding a little more info? Is it a simple, yeah, and another thing moment? Is the person just reinforcing the last point with another detail? And finally, is it doing something more interesting? Is it building on that last idea, but maybe twisting it, or taking it in a completely new direction? This is where the really deep insights live. So your new process starts to look something like this. First, you identify a statement. Then, you analyze how it connects to the statement that came right before it. Third, you give that dynamic a label, a code, like builds, contradicts, or elaborates. And finally, as you do this over and over, you start to see the bigger picture. You can actually map the entire pattern of the conversation. When you put all this together, it's like you've been given a powerful new lens for your analysis. Your transcript is no longer just a long list of quotes. It transforms into this rich, detailed story of how a group thinks together. The source material just nails it with this final bit of advice. You have to be aware.
See how the pattern of conversation is happening. That's your job now. You're not a quote collector. You're an observer of patterns.
And that really is the ultimate takeaway here. The real value, the true insight from a focus group, it doesn't come from adding up all the individual pieces. It comes from understanding the connections, the disagreements, the light bulb moments, and the shifts that happen when people build knowledge together.
So the next time you're staring at a focus group transcript, I want you to try something. Don't just ask, what did people say? Instead, put on this new lens and ask yourself a much more powerful question. What collective story is this data trying to tell me?